What's going on, Fliteboard enthusiasts out there? I'm super stoked because just a guy in the mail right now from my friend Steve Shireen from eFoil.New England. He's the representative for Fliteboard in New England. So he ended up making 3D printed shims, negative shims, and I'm gonna do a review on it right now. I'm gonna put it in the water. I think there are minus 50, minus 75, and minus 1 degree shims. I'm gonna put them in the water, put the test, see how they respond, and hang around for the end of the video because I'll give you a link on how to get the shims and what it does and so forth, and its quality, if it's worth it or not. All right, so I'm gonna do a review on this right now, so stick around. All right, guys, before I put the shim in the water, I gotta tell you something. Who this shim is for, who the negative shims is designed for. Now, I'm not gonna get into much details what the shim does to the board. As you know, it's just negative shims, gonna bring the board down. I'm not gonna get into details. If you wanna see more details what the shim does, please go and link below on the description of the video, and you're gonna see my first video that I did about negative shims. I did a DIY shim. That's my first shim that I made. However, if you are still riding the shims, positive 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 5, those are your training wheels. If you're still riding the shim, the positive shims, and you're still riding your board with the propeller guard, this shim is not for you. You still, with all due respect, using your training wheels. The progression is, as you get better, you're gonna go down to the zero shim, and eventually take the propeller guard out so you can go faster. And these what the negative shims are for. First people gonna beneficiary from this would be the people already are on the zero shim and no guard. So the lighter riders, meaning if you're below 170 pounds, 160, 150, this shim is gonna be better for you. Why? Because you won't be riding on the front of the nose. The faster you go, the more you're gonna have to bring your weight forward. If you put negative shim, the board is gonna go down and you're gonna go back to the mast. The closer your back foot is to the mast, the more stable it's gonna be. That's for any hydrofoil sport, wing foiling, kite foiling, surf foiling. You wanna have the back foot on the back close as possible, as for the mast as possible. That's gonna make the board more stable. So that's what the shim is made for. First of all, for the lighter rider. 2, for that rider who wants to go really fast. I love going fast. I'm 190 pounds, and me at a 10, 12 gear, I am about 1.5 feet in the front of the mast. And the faster I go, the more I have to go forward. And I start riding with the shim. I'm back now at the same cranking speed of 12, 14. I'm back a foot almost on top of the mast, much more stable. So first of all, for the lighter rider, and for the rider who likes to ride fast, especially flat water. The third group might be the surfer. Now, the surfer would be more for those surfers who are doing big, huge waves. The small waves, the 5 foot, 7 foot, 10 foot, they're not that fast. So you actually don't need the shim because as you take your hands off the controller, you have to step back to compensate. So if you average wave 5 foot to 10 foot, you don't need the shim. However, if you're going for big waves, it's going to require you to go much faster, then you might need the negative shim. And you can see a video online. There's 2 guys that they rode Nazareth, and they have a negative 2 shim. All right. So first of all, riders who are lighter, riders who likes to go and fly and ride really fast, and maybe the surfer. All right. That's it. Now stay to the end of the video so you can see where you can buy this, how much they go for, and the quality of the shim, all right? So now finally you can see the shim in water. Thanks. So the conditions today is actually not bad. It's a little bit windy, but the water is nice and flat. I'm gonna start doing, of course, the baseline with 0 degree shim. 0 degree, doesn't matter the wing. I'm using the 800 flyer with the 290 stab. But anyhow, that's gonna be the baseline. I'm gonna go upwind once and downwind and do some carving, and also I'm gonna try to stay at the gear number 10 for both tests. And of course, I'm gonna keep the eye on my feet to see where on the board are gonna be situated. So right now, the first test is gonna be on 0 degree shim. Downwind at 10 gear 10. Look at my foot positioning. board is nice and stable at 10 downwind. My foot stayed in the same place. Now I'm gonna go upwind at the same speed. All right, as you can see, my thumb was right on the H, the board of the letter H, and I didn't have to switch my foot at all. When I was going upwind, I did have to put my body a little bit forward. Now we're gonna see the carving, if you're gonna have to switch a lot. Once again, this is a zero shim. Gonna carve right now, and feels good. Very comfortable at this shim because that's what I ride it with all the time. So let's put the same exact thing on the negative 75. See what happens. The zero shim right now. I took it off. This is my pathetic attempt to do a negative shim, which it worked fine. I think this is probably a 050, but I actually going straight to the 075 3D printed, and as you can see, it's pretty cool. Just a little bit rough, but I'll give you the details later. We're gonna go straight to the 075 and see how it sits on the fuselage. And here you have it, perfect fit. I have no problems in installing at all. Perfect fit. It looks like it's gonna be, it's solid. It's not flexing at all. So I'm stoked to put this in the water and see how it reacts. It's pretty aggressive over there. Look at the back. So I'm stoked to see what's gonna do to the ride right now. So now, just to remind you, this is 075 negative shim. Now, going downwind again, gear 10, and I notice already that I'm a step way behind. You're gonna notice right now to keep the board level. Now we're gonna go upwind. Going downwind again, but gonna make some carvings to feel how it feels on the turns now. Alright guys, by the way, I'm like half foot behind where I was. Not only in the front and back foot. And there's not much front foot pressure either. It's more stable, no doubt, when you make the curves. And you, surprisingly enough, when you're making a turn, usually you lose height, lose the lift. Not with this. For some reason when you carve, you actually stay stable. So, let me go up it again. undoubtedly the board feels more stable. And once again, when I'm carving, the board doesn't drop as much lift, and it's much more stable. I want to see if a crank up to 12, what's going to happen. Let me see right now. I'm going to crank up to 12 and 14 and so forth. At 12 now. Back to 10. Once again, if I was on the zero shim, as I went up on speed, 13, 12, I would have had to step forward. On this case, I didn't have to. I have my foot planted exactly the same spot. So, it's a stupid little thing that keeps my weight, my center of gravity, closer to the mast, which makes more safe. Unless it was 13, 14 on zero shim, I'll be stepping forward. I would step and move my foot. On this case, I didn't have to. I just had to put more pressure on my front foot. Guys, you gotta try this out, all right? Let me stop and I'll give you my final review about this whole thing.
Sorry for making such a long video, guys, but here are my final thoughts about the negative shims. So this is me the following day. I decided to take the board to make more tests on high speed, and I was very excited to see that the faster the board goes, the better the shim performs. Now here, I was basically at the gear 11, 12, and the funny thing is that the faster you go, it feels like the shim cancels the lift, meaning if you go fast, the board's gonna go up and higher and higher and higher. However, as you go fast, the shim brings you down and down and down. So it stays on a very straight, flat plane. It's amazing what the shim does. And this day I was cruising at 11, 12 at a constant speed of 25 miles an hour. And the funny thing too is that when you turn, it's very stable. Unlikely the other shims, for some reason, I think sometimes I lost lift. But on this was quite the contrary. It was super stable. So it's not like the faster you go, the lower you're gonna get. The faster you go, the more stable the board becomes. So that was pretty exciting.
All right, guys, so finally, here are the shims. But first of all, I'll let you know something. First of all, I do not work with Fliteboard. I don't work for Fliteboard. I am just a customer like you guys are, and a very cool enthusiast. I love the sport of e-foil, especially the brand Fliteboard. Now, these shims are not made by Fliteboard either. These shims over here are made by Steve Shireen. Steve Shireen is the representative for Fliteboard in New England. Long time ago, about 3 months ago, he saw my video that I made, which is right there, the link below, when I make this stupid shim over here. It's a negative shim, 0.50, I think. And I did a review on that. And he like, wow, we were definitely into something. So Fliteboard said that they were going to make it, and they never made it. So from this little thing over here, which was great, Steve Shireen got in contact with his technical people and made this, his scan, the original Fliteboard. And this is a, I think, positive 3-degree shim by Fliteboard. As you can see, it's nice and smooth. It flexes a little bit because it's made out of a plastic. And then he got with his tech people and they scanned these shims and 3D printed these shims, which is the negative shims, and they are made out of carbon fiber filament. So as you can see, they're not as smooth as the plastic. However, they have the same shape and they are much stronger. Okay, so anyhow, so you have a comparison. What I have above is the positive 3 shim by Fliteboard, and what I have below is the negative shim. Basically, the positive shim, they'll be higher on the front and lighter on the back.
And of course, the negative shim is going to be completely opposite. They're going to be much thinner on the front and much higher on the back. So this is the positive 3 because it goes up over here and low over here. And this is the negative 75, which is much higher on the back. Now, what you're gonna get with this on your order? First of the order is $40 for 4 shims, and here are the nominations for the shims: minus 0.75, minus 1, minus 150, and minus 2. And for you to order this from Steve, you're gonna have to contact him on Steve at New England. Steve at eFoil New England. So guys, please, if you want to get more details to see what was all about, how I made this, go on the link below and see what happened, how I got into this, and how this little thing became this. So Steve has definitely made a good job on this. Fliteboard is taking too long to make theirs. I hope they're gonna make soon. But until then, you can get one of these if you want today. And here's the link below, as I mentioned before. Guys, stay tuned. If you get to buy this, please leave your review, make a video about it, and please stay tuned because I'm gonna make a video pretty soon about how to repair Fliteboard carbon fiber wings and how to repair your Fliteboard board. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys soon. Be good to each other. Bye bye.